All right, let me just give a little background. What is DACA? DACA is Deferred Action, that's the DA, for Childhood Arrivals, the CA, DACA. And it's a program that was established for individuals who came into the country before the age of 16, who were brought here by their parents, right? So they didn't really have a say. So DACA was intended to give them an opportunity to live out some aspects of the American dream.
Oh, okay, so I'm going to jump in there. Okay. Lo primero es que hay que explicar qué significa DACA. Y las palabras no las tengo. But deferred, huh? La primera? Yeah. What's deferred? Diferar, childhood, jóvenes que llegaron a este país, que llegaron a este país antes de la edad de 16. O sea, para los jóvenes, que hay varios jóvenes que llegaron a este país, porque... Hey, déjenme en paz, déjenme hablar. All right, this is going to be like a comedy show as well. All right, so I'm glad you're entertained. Ustedes saben que la ley es los jóvenes que llegaron antes de la edad de 16 o menos, que llegaron con sus padres ilegalmente. El gobierno quiso darle oportunidad a esos jóvenes a estudiar y a trabajar. Okay? So, eso fue la ley que pasaron el presidente Obama en 2012.
So what he said is you can work, right? You can work, you can live here. It would not be deported. But the thing is, they're looking through the questions, there's a couple misconceptions about what DACA ever was.
Viendo las preguntas, él siente que no hay entendimiento de qué significaba DACA.
DACA did not grant you a pathway to citizenship.
DACA no era una manera como uno se puede ser ciudadano en este país.
It did not grant you permanent resident status.
No te dio permanente residencia permanente.
By law, a DACA recipient is still considered an illegal alien.
Por ley, alguien que tenga DACA todavía es ilegal. Por ley.
The DACA is based on a concept.
Keep going.
Prosecutorial discretion. Simply,
go for
it. The government chose not to enforce immigration laws against people who held DACA status.
La ley, DACA lo que está haciendo es que el gobierno ha decidido que no va a procesar o no va a deportar a los jóvenes que that meet the requirements, so que llegaron antes de 16, que vivieron aquí antes de 2007. Fine, we're going.
All right, let's get into some of the questions we have.
Okay, las preguntas.
The first one is, my DACA expires September 2018.
Okay, la pregunta es que si su DACA expires, how do you say expires? Expira en septiembre de 2018. ¿Hay manera en cómo yo lo puedo renovar?
So the status of this person after September 2018 is that they will not be allowed to renew their DACA petition or renew their DACA status. DACA ends completely by March 5th of 2 years from yesterday, 2019. Excuse me. By 2019, there will be no DACA holders at all.
But say it again, Mr. Blair, I'm sorry.
The DACA program will be completely eliminated, phased out by March 5th of 2019.
Después del 5 de marzo de 2019, DACA ya no va a existir.
So if you are looking, if you're a DACA holder, you know a DACA holder,
Si usted tiene DACA o conoce a alguien que tenga el DACA,
and your DACA is expiring by March 5th,
y su DACA se va a expirar antes del 5 de marzo de 2018,
you are eligible to renew for an additional 2 years.
usted lo puede renovar por 2 más años. Así que si su DACA se expira antes de marzo 5, 2018, uno lo puede renovar por 2 años, pero la aplicación tiene que entrar antes del 5 de octubre de este año. Tienen menos de un mes para renovar su DACA.
So,
Okay? Do you guys want me to say it again?
I got it.
Got it? Okay.
I misspoke a minute ago. It's March 5th,
2018.
2020 that the program was completely gone.
Okay, la corrección que cuando ya no va a existir el programa es marzo de 2020. Marzo de 2020.
Now, those who are eligible to renew, meaning yours expires or theirs expires by March 5th, 2018, you must file your renewal by October 5th, which is less than a month now from
Okay.
now.
Los que pueden renovar son los que el DACA ya no, o sea, se expira antes de marzo 5, 2018. Los que pueden renovar lo tienen que hacer antes de octubre, el 5 de octubre del mes que viene. So, tienen un mes para renovar por 2 años. ¿Ok? Es fecha muy importante. ¿Escucharon eso?
Sí.
Tienen un mes para renovar por 2 años.
Here's another question. This person is concerned about
¿Otra pregunta?
getting status for their husband. Says, I am concerned about other students who have DACA. Now they wouldn't be able to finish school. Well, first of all,
La pregunta es una persona que se está preocupando por los que están estudiando. The fear, how would you say fear? El miedo es que ya no van a poder estudiar.
your DACA status has nothing to do with you attending school. Right? The courts have already said whether you are an illegal or not, you have a right to an education if you are in this country.
Si usted tiene DACA o no tiene DACA, uno puede estudiar en este país. No tiene nada que ver que si usted puede estudiar o no.
So DACA, you're safe with schooling. You can continue to go to school. Now, some colleges will continue to accept you. The question will be, how do you pay for it?
Sí. Lo que sí cambia es la ayuda financiera y cómo uno va a pagar por esas clases.
Because without DACA, you would lose your work status.
Sí, porque sin DACA ya uno ya no tiene
Work authorization.
el work authorization. So how would we say that? El permiso de trabajo.
And then, I am worried about my husband. I am fixing his papers.
Hay alguien que está preocupado por su esposo porque
If-
le está arreglando papeles.
And there was another question that came up about work permits and things like that. If your immigration petition is based on some other reason than just DACA deferred action, you're not affected by what happened yesterday.
Si usted está procesando sus documentos sobre algo de que no se tiene que ver con DACA, eso no va a cambiar su procesamiento, su aplicación.
So if you're filing to adjust the status of your spouse,
Si usted está metiendo papeles para cambiar el status, el estado de California,
Sí, entonces
el estado de su, that was a joke, guys, I'm sorry. El estado de su amante, de su amor, de su esposo.
Pareja.
A mí, yo hablo con pasión, perdón.
So, so your petition for a spouse is separate from DACA. It has nothing to do with DACA.
Sí.
Another question. What would happen to those who have DACA, and if Congress doesn't come up with a solution?
¿Qué pasa si, porque ahorita ustedes saben que el presidente Trump ha dicho, el Congreso tiene 6 meses para crear una nueva ley, ¿verdad? ¿Entienden eso? Sí. Que eso es lo que dijo el presidente Trump, que el Congreso tiene 6 meses, y la pregunta es, ¿qué pasa si el Congreso no pasa nueva ley? ¿Qué va a pasar?
So, if your DACA status ends by March, then you would be eligible for deportation. That's not to say they're going to come and swoop you up.
Okay. Si el permiso de trabajo se vence antes del 5 de marzo y las leyes no cambian, si uno va a tener el estado de ilegal. Pero eso no quiere decir que va a venir la migración y lo va a llevar. La migra. ¿Me entienden? O sea, después de marzo 5, si las leyes no cambian, si el Congreso no tiene nueva ley, el estado de ese estudiante, de esa persona, va a ser ilegal. No va a tener permiso de trabajar en los Estados Unidos. Pero eso no quiere decir que ya va a llegar la migra a la puerta. Vamos a estar como hemos estado por años. ¿Me entienden? En eso no va a cambiar. What I'm saying is, we're all going to go back to what we've been experiencing for years, which is an illegal status in this country. Right?
So,
I translate myself.
All right. DACA is gone, but hope is not. DACA is gone, but hope is not.
DACA ya no está, pero esperanza existe.
So, what is coming up?
Sí, ¿qué podemos esperar? Wow, you guys really don't like me. ¿Qué podemos esperar?
So what Congress can do
el Congreso puede hacer
is to legislate
es hacer leyes,
new immigration laws.
Nuevas leyes de inmigración.
And there is one law you may have heard of.
Y hay una ley que tal vez han oído.
It's called the DREAM Act.
Que se llama el DREAM Act.
The DREAM Act has been around for 16 years.
Esta ley, esta proposición ha estado por 16 años.
It was introduced by both Republicans and Democrats.
Los demócratas y los republicanos, los dos lo introdujeron.
It's bipartisan.
Es bipartisan.
And what the DREAM Act looks to do is outshine DACA significantly.
Esta ley de DREAM Act es mejor. Ofrece más que DACA ha ofrecido.
With the DREAM Act,
con el DREAM Act,
individuals who have come into this country
individuales que han llegado a este país
as children,
como jóvenes, como niños,
before the age of 12,
antes de la edad de 12,
who've lived in the country continuously for 5 years,
y han vivido en este país por 5 años sin regresar,
and hadn't reached the age of 21,
y no han llegado a la edad de 21 años,
by the time it is passed,
cuando se pasa la ley,
would be eligible for permanent resident status.
Van a estar elegibles para residencia permanente. Permanente.
Which is the only pathway to citizenship.
Es la única manera que uno se puede ser ciudadano.
So the unfortunate part is the fact that it cuts off at 21.
Lo único malo es que la edad es 21 años.
However,
Uno tiene que tener menos de 21 años.
you have a voice,
Pero todos tenemos una voz
and those who have family members and friends
y todos que tengan amigos y familiares
can reach out to your local congressman,
pueden escribir, pueden hablar, contactar al Congreso local.
you can support community organizations,
Uno puede soportar, apoyar a organizaciones de la comunidad
that seek to bring the DREAM Act
que quieren ver a esta ley pasar, el DREAM Act,
back to Congress
al Congreso
and pass it.
y pasarlo.
So right now, that is our greatest hope.
Eso es la esperanza que tenemos nosotros, que pase esta ley. Should we talk about? So the way I see that, this is really a hard thing for our country. I think a lot of us are seeing, the DACA being taken off the table as something that's tough because we don't know what's ahead. But man, my prayer, my hope is that something better would replace, right? And that's the DREAM Act, right? That's the DREAM Act. The DREAM Act would be better. Now there are some things that need to change in terms of the age restrictions, but man, that's the hope. And so one of the questions that I really, really loved that I read was, what can we as citizens do to help? And that's exactly it, right? We can write our local congressmen and women. We can participate in local, community efforts and supports through social media, through whatever means. We can just allow our voice to be heard in support of a law, of an act that would help this generation, right? And so nosotros como los que estamos aquí como ciudadanos podemos apoyar, podemos ayudar, podemos participar en cualquier manera para que esta ley se pase, una ley mejor. Han quitado una ley que sí ha ayudado a muchos, pero la esperanza es que una ley mejor entre al Congreso, right? So I want to just share a quick resource that I was given that I think is great. We're going to bring it up. So most of us are on Instagram. There is a woman who is in support of the land community. Her name is Jessica Dominguez. She is a friend of a friend, and so I just wanted to highlight her. So if we can go to her page just so that everyone knows what we can look like. If you want more, if you want to hear this, from a legal expert, then this is your expert that you can go to.
Latina.
Can we click on that, X that? So it's Jessica Dominguez. Her handle is Abogada Latina. Okay, Abogada Latina. ¿Qué debo saber de que DACA se terminó? So if you click on that and we swipe right, swipe right on the picture. That's her. She has aplicaciones y renovaciones. She has information on that. We talked about the dates. If you're like, I don't remember the dates, ahí están las fechas. Okay, click on it again. Permiso de trabajo. So she's answering a lot of the questions. Ella está dando información sobre las preguntas que nosotros tenemos. Información que nosotros hemos dicho hoy, pero aquí está escrito para ustedes y sus familiares. Okay, click on it again. So she's done a really good job of providing some information. So again, Jessica Dominguez, if you want to get out your phone and add her now or follow her or whatever you got to do, she has some great information there. We'll just leave it up. Thank you.
Well, a couple things. I left out one, which she mentioned in her questions, is that, or not her questions, but her statements, was that if you were applying and you filed before yesterday and you're application was accepted, it would be processed. Those would continue to go through.
Sí.
People who filed after, no.
Ok, la fecha de ayer fue el último día que uno puede aplicar para la DACA. Si usted aplicó la semana pasada, esa aplicación va a ser procesada, porque es mujer. ¿La aplicación? No. Ok, so, did you guys hear that? ¿Oyeron eso? Así que no están tomando nuevas aplicaciones después de la fecha de ayer, pero si ya aplicaron, esa aplicación sí va a ser procesada.
And also, I know that there's a lot of misconceptions about what benefits you were receiving with DACA, and she, like said in that last one, it depends on the state you were in.
Todo depende del estado de qué beneficios uno va a recibir con su nueva DACA o su permiso de DACA.
The last thing I want to leave you with is this, and this. I think we make a connection here. You got to continue to dream, but to change these laws, we're going to have to work hard.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So work hard, keep dreaming, or dream and work hard.
Uno tiene que seguir soñando en este país. We're going to take a question here. Aunque las leyes cambien, uno como latino tiene que seguir adelante, tiene que seguir soñando. Pero también se tiene que entender que va a ser esfuerzos individuales y como comunidad vamos a tener que trabajar para poder superarnos. ¿Verdad? I'm not going to get a clap, huh? Y'all going to clap for me. I said the same thing, but in Spanish. Isaac, ¿quieres preguntar? Okay, someone who has DACA, can they enroll in the military?
That's a good question.
Buena pregunta.
I'll tell you in class.
Él te va a dar respuesta después.
So much for a free country.
Okay, otras preguntas? ¿Preguntas? Okay, guys, I know this could be like a private matter. Victor?
Sí, like I said to Larry yesterday, like some of the people, like you said, the DREAM Act is different than the DACA, right? So what's going to happen with the people who doesn't qualify due to the age restriction?
Okay. La pregunta de Víctor es, hay personas que califican por el DACA que no van a calificar por el DREAM Act porque hay diferentes calificaciones. ¿Qué va a pasar con las personas que no califican por el DREAM Act?
Well, ideally what we want to do now is encourage our Congress to include the people who were otherwise DACA recipients. Right? So what we could do is when we voice our concerns to our congressmen is let them know, hey, I had DACA, but I'm over 21. And they can write amendments. The law is not passed. Right. So they can amend it to change the age.
Eso va a ser el esfuerzo que se va a tener que tener en la comunidad, que cambie la edad, que nosotros como ciudadanos digamos, escribimos, que la edad tiene que cambiar, que tiene que incluir a todos que incluyó DACA. Las leyes siempre se pueden cambiar. Other questions? ¿Preguntas?
No?
Okay. Guys, we love you guys. We're here to support. We're here to support your families. Go to that Instagram. There are other organizations that we're connected with. We're here to help.